Welcome, young hero. Welcome to Etherworld. Your adventures here will be twofold, exploring new lands and fighting enemies. Right now, you're in adventure mode. Note how the cursor changes shape to indicate which parts of the terrain are accessible to you and which are not. Mountains, water, lava and woods are impassable. Also, some passages can be blocked by other game characters. To move around the map, just click on the point where you wish to go. You would do well to listen to the advice of the various heroes you meet along the course of your travels. The second button from the left, at the bottom of the screen, calls up the notebook. You can click on it at any time. All instructions you receive from tutors in our training camp are recorded there automatically. It might be useful to take a look at them every now and then. To move around the map, just click on the point where you want to go. In the Four Suns world, the days pass by quickly. You'll see this on the panel at the bottom of the screen and to your right. However, when you're not moving, time also comes to a standstill.
I will now show you how to see more of the world. You need to learn how to look in all directions. Use the arrow keys to look left or right, or to rise above the map. Moving the mouse while holding down the right mouse button, or simply by moving the mouse cursor to a screen edge, will also change the view accordingly. If you double-click your destination point on the map, you'll see that the camera tracking the hero adjusts automatically as he moves to that location.
Tooltips are very handy text explanations of practically everything you encounter in the game. Buildings, objects, spells, and interface elements. To see the tooltip for any item, just place the cursor over the item and right-click. This road ends at the shore of a small lake. There are several ways to get over this obstacle on the map. A teleporter will transport you to its exit point instantaneously. Some teleporters are two-way, but others work in only one direction. This mountain tunnel doesn't look too dangerous, but be careful. A monster may be lurking inside. However, true heroes aren't afraid to fight, are they? The jetty at the lakeshore provides a chance to board the ship and sail. Remember though, you can only disembark and reach land again at another jetty.
Whilst travelling in Etherworld, you will see many different buildings and objects. Read tooltips to learn more about these as you encounter them. If your hero can interact with a building or object, the cursor will change shape to indicate this as it passes over the item. Some structures are just peaceful huts and your hero cannot interact with them. For example, try using magic font. You'll see a remote area on the map.
I see you're very inquisitive, young hero. Thoroughly exploring the various nooks and crannies on the map will yield many useful items. This key you found opens this door. I suggest you save your game before opening the gate and entering a new unexplored area. To save the game, call up the menu by clicking on the button at the bottom of the screen to the right, or by pressing the escape key. This menu also has the Options, Encyclopedia, and Exit to Main Menu commands. Alternatively, you can quick save your game by pressing the F5 key. Pressing the F8 key loads the last quick saved game.
Soon, you will be baptized by fire. You need to understand what determines your hero's power. Below, on the left, next to your portrait, very important information is displayed. The upper number shows the hero's health, This value is going to be crucial in combat. When your hero's health drops to 0, the hero loses the combat. Just below the health number is your level, the most important determinant of your hero's overall power. The higher a hero's level, the higher his health, the more useful abilities he possesses, and the quicker ether flows to him during combat. This ether is vitally important for casting combat spells. Just below the number showing the hero's level, there is a bar that represents experience. This bar's length grows as the hero gains experience. When full, the hero gains a level and the experience bar starts over. Heroes gain experience through combat victories. The more the hero fights, the higher his level will be. Right-click on the experience bar to see the precise amount of experience gained relative to the amount needed for the next level. When you encounter an enemy hero or a monster, view your opponent's tooltip by right-clicking on him. This will show his level. You can then decide whether to fight him now or return later when your own level is higher. The lower left-hand section of the screen displays the balance of resources you possess. These resources can be obtained by collecting either hordes of rocks or plants. Additional supplies can also be gathered from special structures such as mines or from meadows once they have been captured. A certain amount of resources will then be added to your stock on a daily basis. Collect all resources and capture the mine. Without them, you won't be able to buy spells at the shop.
The button to the right of the resources bar calls up the hero's inventory. Click on this now. In the left inventory section, you can see your portrait and your current health and level values. Below these is a list of your specializations. Only one of these can be selected, and it will affect the outcome of the battle. Further below is a list of skills that can be chosen by the hero when he reaches the next level. In the lowermost section are slots for storing combat artifacts, which you may find in your travels. All combats in Etherworld are fought solely through magic spells. Below on the right, you can see 16 spells available to you at the beginning of combat. This is your active deck. Make sure it's always full. When you start combat, spells from active deck will randomly come to your hand for use in a battle. Each spell has a number of charges, indicated by the figure in the corner. That's how many times you can cast a spell during combat. When the fight is completed, all charges are reset. Above this are the reserve spells that you can also use. At any time before combat begins, you can arrange your own active deck by dragging spells into the deck from your reserve. Now drag a new spell from reserve to your active deck, and then close your inventory. New spells come mainly from shops. Why don't you enter a shop now? You can buy new spells or sell unwanted spells at a shop. Note, however, that when you sell spells, you will receive fewer resources than what you originally paid for. To buy a spell, simply drag it from the shop to your inventory, just like you did when moving spells from your reserve to your active deck. Keep in mind how much you are spending when you buy spells in a shop. Once the hero runs out of resources while purchasing spells, the figures in the total bill column turn red and a warning message appears, "Not enough resources," to indicate that you can no longer afford any further spells. Now try buying some new spells and then leave the shop. You can also find some spells on the map, or receive them as a gift for various tasks, or even find them on the bodies of your defeated opponents. Now let's see if we can get some goodies here. Come and search this monster I've killed.
Since the last era, known as the Time of Change, many unusual altars appeared in Etherworld. By activating them, you can seriously alter the conditions of combat. altars can modify combat conditions for the entire mission after you activate them, whilst the actions of some can be time limited. Still others affect only their immediate surroundings. View the tooltips to see how each one works. Why don't you read these altars tooltips now? Since you know how altars work, you can use them to your advantage. Don't forget that activating an altar is not without risk. Occasionally, it can bring about unpredictable consequences for the future. After you activate an altar, or when you enter the zone it affects, an icon appears at the top right-hand corner of the screen. It shows that every combat taking place at this time in this area will be affected by the altar's influence.
Well, young hero, you've had a tour of a training camp safe from the dangers of Etherworld. What the future has in store for you will certainly be much harsher, but we're sure you'll do yourself proud. Try your hand at fighting a few simple monsters we keep in our pens. The strongest of them has settled in the fort, which makes it still harder to defeat. If you lose a combat, you won't die, but we'll have to start it again. However, it's never easy to learn martial arts all by yourself, so it won't hurt to continue your training with experienced instructors. If you enter this teleporter, you'll be immediately taken to the special combat training camp. If you go through the tunnel, you'll simply leave this camp. Good luck.